Hey y'all, hold on. Thank you. Let me get this earpiece in. Hey y'all, what's going on? Don't geek me up now. Hold on one second. Excuse me. Thank you. I was trying to. Hey Terrence, what's up? I was trying to get one of my favorites on here. Just bear with me 1 second. You know, I tried to rent it. Are you guys able to hear me okay? Okay. No, I can't take my time, honey. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, great. Thank you. Is the background music too loud? Okay. Thank you. Just want to make sure. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? It's not? Juby, what's not? Ew. Oh, let me focus. Hey, thank you. Hey, let's see. I am so mad about this. Hold on. I'm gonna have to go to YouTube. It's time for a production person. Okay, it's not too loud. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. This is when you know it's time to get you a production person. Okay. This is when you know it's time. Ew. Okay. I didn't want to have to do it like this, but this is how we're going to do it. Okay, y'all. You know who we interviewing tonight. None other than Mr. Leon Robinson. I'm so excited. I'm so serious. Let me see if I can get some light going on here. 1 second. Let's see. Hold on. He is. He absolutely is. If I'm kind of going in and out the light, just let me know. The only thing about testing it on Instagram Live is that you're actually going to go live if you test it. So, you know. Oh, I'm excited, y'all. Hey, Mocha Lee. Let me see here. Let's see if I can. Okay, I want to be able to see y'all. Trying to, wait. Okay. Thank y'all. Just trying to see here. Alright. Hey y'all. Okay, hold on 1 second. Hi Devin. Thank you. Somebody said my hair's so pretty. Thank you. Thank you. You know, sister be trying. Okay, hold on. Give me a second here. All right. And hold on. I want to make sure that we got a couple of people in here. I know when Leon come, he's gonna bring the wave. But does it seem like I'm kind of going, like it's getting dark and then it's getting light again? That's what I'm kind of seeing here. So I just want to make sure everything is cool. There's our guest of honor. Let me get him in here. I see you, Leon. Trying to get him. Okay. Lord. Okay. He's coming. One,
Hey,
two.
hey,
Hey, Mr. Robinson. In the
how you doing?
house.
First off, I want to apologize for my tardiness, but I'm out of the country, so I got the time zones mixed up. So, but we're here now. Let's go.
You don't have to apologize, okay? We here waiting on you, Mr. Ruffin. Okay, we here waiting on you. Patiently waiting. So since you don't have your shades, so if you don't have your shades, I'll remove mine.
Yeah, no, there's no shades for me. Yeah,
Glasses after dark.
yeah,
Oh, you're
exactly.
freezing?
But if you want
It's
me to
freezing.
wear shades, I shades them.
Okay, that's all
Yeah,
right.
so
I mean, you know,
I
that's
just
the
figured people
thing.
probably want to see my
That is the
eyes.
thing.
So
But if you want
yeah,
to be
so
cool and calm and collective, they do. They do. They absolutely
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Because let me tell you something.
I think they prefer if I didn't have cover shades on. I think so.
Sounds like a
But
plan
I
to
think
me. This is a
but I'm sure there's some listeners there, so they'll tell you what they think.
uh, listen. Let me tell you something. I got woke up at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning by a woman who asked could she be my assistant for the night. And I said, well, I don't really need an assistant because this is a virtual interview. But she was that anxious and interested in meeting you. So yeah, I've gotten some very interesting messages and requests for you. So this is really they love Leon.
Well, I appreciate it. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it. I do.
One of the reasons I really wanted to interview you, one is because I don't really know if you are aware of the impact that you have on the city of Detroit. I know you're from New York, and I know things are a little bit more fast paced, more interactive there. But for us, when we get a little bit of excitement, we're really excited. So when we had the opportunity to watch different movies, and I'm going to read off your roster, but when we have the opportunity to reenact those movies and those scenes, it really means something to us because it kind of brings us and unites us together. So,
Hmm.
with that being said, we just want to thank you for tonight, okay, for showing love to someone from Detroit and representing. And we want to hear all about what you have going on. So, where are you now?
Okay, so currently I'm in Costa Rica, and as far as Detroit is concerned, that's the Motor City, but more importantly, is Motown, and I have a deep
Yes.
love for that. And as far as the people of Detroit appreciate me, well, that's something I realize every time I go to Detroit. Because even if I'm walking down the street, they come out the barber shop, they come out the hat shop. They're like, David, come over here, David. And I'm like, man,
Yes.
these people. Well, I said, if Motown, Motor City thinks I'm David Ruffin, then maybe I did do a good job. I'm not sure.
We're so going to get into that. Your roles, and I have David and some of the Temptations playing in the background just so people can see who the real David was and how close and how almost mirrored you were to his style, to his charisma, and everything. You really embodied that particular role. But you're so much more than Mr. Ruffin, and I want to educate people on your history from beginning to now, okay? And we do have some presentations, so let me just kind of lay it out how this is going to roll. We're going to do is I'm not a question Q&A type of person, but we're going to just have a conversation about your life. Towards the end, we're going to allow some of the audience to be able to ask you some questions. They're going to type it in, and then you answer or not answer accordingly, and then we'll be done. Kind of short and
Cool.
simple, and then I do have a couple of presentations to give you as well, okay?
Okay, sure.
Okay, so you were born in March 8th,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yeah.
And you were born in New York, and you were a basketball player in high school, but when you went to college, you started to develop a love or interest in the arts, correct?
Yes, kind of.
And
Yes. I mean,
well,
what
go
happened
ahead
is
and
that
explain it. Quick,
I had a
clarify
love
it
for
for
I
me.
had the love for the arts before I went to high school, but I went to All Boys Prep Academy and they didn't have a drama department at the time. So I just excelled in athletics and became all everything basketball player. Got, lots of scholarship offers. And but for some reason I wanted to go out to Los Angeles. I don't know why. I never even been before. So I don't even know if I was even on a plane before. So, and I went out
Well,
there.
and
I
I
went
mean,
out.
like you used to average like 30 points. You were good.
Yeah, no, I was saying, I think I was like the second leading scorer in the city when I was in high school. Yeah, I could shoot. Yeah.
Okay, which probably, when you did above the rim, it just kind of, fit in alignment with you, right?
Well, yeah, actually, it was. I had a situation in college where I got my first part in a play. It was called "Sarah and
Hmm.
the Stacks" by John Carlino, and
Okay.
I had to ask the coach, "Can I miss one game so that I could be in this play?" And the coach not really having he
Okay.
said he never had a basketball player like me before who would sing songs at the foul line and just, I was into arts and not just basketball all the time. So he said that if I did the play and missed the game, I'd be off the team. So I had to make a decision. So I figured one day I'd play a basketball player and, and so I did it above the rim. So at least that made that part of the whole transition complete for me.
Wow. Because what I saw in your history when I was doing my research on you, it really appears that a lot of your everyday life of what you experienced personally, you were able to reenact it in your films and on stage. So do you think that the life of Leon is almost a reflection of the roles that you've played thus far in
Hmm.
some ways?
I don't know.
I mean, you
I don't,
you were a
I don't know. I
basketball
mean, I
player?
think there's aspects maybe of me in probably many different roles, of course. But I don't know if I've revealed, my life so much in a movie or a role. Um, I don't know that yet. Maybe, who knows?
Well, you started out in '89. And I think you should because you seem like you're a very reserved person, very private, but you're very outgoing, very adventurous. You're a risk taker. So there's a side of Leon that we don't know, and maybe it's for the best, because once people get in your business, it gets a little extra. So maybe I think what we do love about you is that because you give your all in your roles, that then when we see you off screen, it's just cool, calm, and collective, like how you go from one extreme to the other. And I think that mystery keeps people engaged. So I think you're doing what's right. You're keeping it private and doing what you need to do.
Well, I've always believed that, you know, an actor should have some sort of a mystique. Um, it
Mm,
allows people to let him or her delve into their characters without thinking about, oh, that's Leon, or that's Jamie, or that's whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think the more people know
right.
about you, the more they have an idea or opinion about you and your life, who you're going out with, this and that. It affects how they feel about you playing certain roles. And I
Mm,
don't really want that. Most times, I mean, I think I'm pretty well known, but I think that most times, they're not, and it's just the way I like it. People yell out my character names to me because that's who they know. That's who they fall in love. That's what I want them to fall in love with. That's what I want them to
mm.
remember. It's not about, I mean,
Yeah.
if they watch interviews like this or watch me on a talk show or something and learn something about me, it's, you know, it's cool. The the one thing that's kind of messed up my plan a little bit was the mother of my child, Cynthia Bailey, being on a reality show. That allowed people to see me in a way they never saw me before. They saw me as a dad because I appeared on that show because I don't want anyone ever thinking that that's not my daughter. So
Noelle,
they
she's
got to know
beautiful.
that she is, yeah, she's my one and only. So I
She's
think people
absolutely
saw a little
gorgeous.
bit glimpse into me, into that, you know, that aspect. But if it wasn't for that, I don't think people would have known much about, you know, my private life and like it like that.
So from, you know what, I'm not going to touch on that if you don't want me to. So we can keep it moving because I want to start in the beginning. You did a lot of work with ABC in the beginning in '89, and you did a series called The Midnight Caller.
Yeah, I guest started in Midnight Caller. Yeah,
Okay.
that was one of my first guest starring roles. Yeah.
Yes, and then and then the following, what I noticed that you kind of, when you start working, you just kind of cram everything all at once. Like, I'm at the house, get me while you can, because right after that, you
Well,
did
I'm
another.
glad. You know, let me tell you something. I'm glad it seems that way to you because I seem to have plenty of times when I'm not working. It seems like to me.
But you know what? From the history, from what I'm seeing, your history is, it seems like you're outgoing. You're just a person who likes to be on the move. So any downtime would seem probably like a long time, because you also did a mini series right after that, and it was called let's see here. The You co-starred in another mini series, and then right after that you did Brewster's Place, Women's of Brewster's Place.
Yeah, Women's a Brewster played Oprah Winfrey's first production. Yeah, that was really that was a
Yeah,
really good show. It's a really great cast. It
yeah,
was amazing.
absolutely.
Everybody was in that
And you were
cast, and yeah.
and you were opposite of Robin Givens.
Hmm.
That was your date. That was your
Hmm.
love interest. And
Hmm.
I mean, that was all in '89. But then in '88, you did Colors. I mean, like, you're kind of moving here. It's like Colors, then Brewster's Place in '89, then The Heartbeats in '91. Now, I know you've done other movies about the five heartbeats and everything, and people have called you JT. So we're going to spend just a little bit time on your signature movies, okay? So I'm not going to ask you. We all know Robert Townsend. We all know that, okay? We know that he picked you, and actually Keenan Wayans was going to be his brother, was going to play that role, but he ended up doing A Living Color, so it just kind of made way for you. But he kind of finessed you a little bit, told you like, okay, there's a lot in you, and I remember you saying in one of your interviews that you didn't know if he was like really being genuine or if he was pimping, but it sounded great to you anyway, as far as approaching you about doing the film, the type of aura that you bring to a film, and to, just basically saying that women, knowing that you're in a film, they will want to see it. And I mean, the results are evident. The results are evident. Leon's in the
Well,
movie. I'm
thanks,
going.
thanks. I appreciate that.
So we all know the beginning of how you got into the movie. I want to talk about the role JT. JT was a player. He was, shy guy. He was all of this. When you begin to read the script of JT, how did that make you feel as an individual? Like, as a man, like, all right, is this the here we go with the stereotype playboy scene, or when you're about to take on a role, how does it affect you personally, emotionally?
Well, you know, look, first thing and the most important thing is not about my role. Right? It's about the story. You know, that's what drives me to do a movie. You know, it's about the story. You know, it's not just my role. So, oh, sorry. So I look at the story, and you know, and if I like the story, then I see what role do I play in telling that story. And I don't really get into whether something is typical or anything else. It's about what part does this character play in moving this story forward. And if he plays an important
Mm.
part and I like the story, then I'm interested in doing it. It could be one scene that turns the whole story around, and I would do it if I like the story, because that's what I'm story driven. I'm a storyteller, really. At the end of the day, that's what drives me. So um, if I think a role seems like it's typical, I don't know if it's my confidence or whatever, but I just think that if I play it, it won't be typical. So that's the way I look at it.
Understood. So, was it exciting for you? Like that one scene, when you and Duck, you woke up, you heard your song on the radio. Like, it seems like singing, I know that you have a group now, but it seems like singing is really a passion for you. Like when you're on the stage in your films, like you're really on that stage. So is that kind of a connection for you as well,
When I'm singing with my
personally?
band, when I'm singing with my band, Leon on the Peoples, you'll see that same passion. You'll see it even maybe even more so because that's my music. So yeah, I mean, being on stage performing, especially musically, is something that I love. It's in my blood. It's a godsend for me because when you have a career, especially as long as my career, there's peaks and valleys, and they go up and down. But in the meantime, in between that, I have music. I can always write music. I can go and rock a crowd, and it's great. So
Okay, I'm gonna get off of Five Heartbeats, but I wanted to know what was your favorite part in the film?
my favorite part of the Five Heartbeats.
Hmm.
Is that what you asked me? Oh, my favorite part in the Five
Are you able to
Heartbeats.
hear me? Are you able to hear me well?
I can hear you. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. My favorite part of the Five Heartbeats. I don't know if I have a favorite part, but um, if I do, um, it would be that's tough. There's so many good parts of the Five Heartbeats, and a lot of the parts that I,
Well,
and
I
a
won't
lot of the
let you
part,
choose
and a
one.
lot of the parts that I love, I'm not in. So, but I would
Mm.
probably say that when Duck comes to finally see JT, and he realizes that he named his son Duck.
And then
I think that kind of brought the whole story around, and it's a special moment. Yeah.
it did. It really did. Because one, it was kind of unexpected. So I think that was pretty great. Um, Cool Runnings. I know that you spent a lot of time in Jamaica,
Hmm.
in between films. Like when I say a
Hmm.
lot of time, like 3 to 6 months for years, about 10 years you did that. So when they presented Cool Runnings, they said we had to get you. So what was that experience like, sledding and all of that? See, like I
Well,
said, you're adventurous.
yeah, look, it's and every time you do a sports movie, and especially a sports movie like a bobsledding movie, yeah, I mean you have to be in great shape all the time. It's strenuous, but it's also a comedy too, and it's an uplifting comedy. I just thought that for me to be there as a representative of that team, and especially the lead character, and to tell that story was something I was very proud of. And I know all the whole island of Jamaica is proud of it, and it just it just gives me a warm feeling that I was able to do that. I think that when for me, it's about doing memorable work. That's all that really matters to me. I could make you laugh, make you cry tomorrow and stuff, but if you don't remember it next year and years to come, it doesn't mean that much to me. I want to do things that you remember.
And you do. And you do it well.
Thanks.
Above the Rim. I'm just going to throw out some names. Above the Rim. Tupac.
My brother,
Dwayne.
love Dwayne, man,
Hot
hell of a ball
one,
player.
rest in peace. I know I heard that he also played with the Knicks. Is that right?
Well, no, he tried out for the Knicks. He's one of the last players cut from the Knicks. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
But still, just to be in the room means
Oh yeah,
something.
no, no. Dwayne was a very good ball player. I mean, that's the one thing I always say about this movie. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I always say that that's the best basketball movie, meaning that the all the players in there, all the actors in there
Mm-hmm.
could really ball, and yet and could really act. And if we've seen
Yeah.
movies in there where we've had real professional ball players in there, but they weren't the actors that the actors weren't above the rim. And so, and then we had real street ball players, all the guys from the Rucker. So I mean, between that, I just thought that was the most realistic as far as concerned. And I think that the casting of Tupac and everything made the whole street scenes just very real. And yeah, that's just my opinion.
What was it like? Once he passed, I know that moment, those moments meant even more, but What was it like playing his opposite? Because when you see him acting as well, it's just so effortless. So how was it being the opposite, doing those particular scenes with him?
You, you see me doing scenes with Tupac, but that's not what I'm doing when I'm doing it. I'm doing the scene with my brother Birdie. That's all. I mean, that's who he is to me in those moments. I don't. I mean,
So you guys just, when you're an actor, you shut off the person, you embody the character, and that's it.
yeah. I mean, because if I don't do that, then how are you supposed to believe that I'm that character? I mean,
So
I
for
can't.
us, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, I have to be real. So the different actors in movies to me, they are who they are in the movie to me. That's only why I relate to them on screen. Now, off screen is a different thing. But on
Mm,
screen, when I'm at the cemetery and Tupac comes up to me, he's my brother that I'm not feeling his lifestyle. I'm
mm,
not feeling what he's doing. But yet he's hurting inside. He's hurting inside. He wants me to be that brother that can join forces with him, but I'm not doing that. And that's basically what it is. And he hits me with some hard stuff about mom. And it's hard to take.
mm,
But a character like Shep, he internalizes everything. So
mm.
a lot of the things that you saw from my character were in my eyes. They weren't in the dialogue.
I understand. And see, the questions that I'm asking for the audience. We see you guys on screen. We see the wonderful, presentation, but we have no idea as to what you're actually thinking and what you're, feeling in these moments. We only see what we see. And then, once you do your interviews, it's really kind of about the meticulous or mechanisms of the film and how it began, not necessarily you within the film. So that's what I really wanted to kind of bring out and give people a little bit more insight as to who Leon is while being in these particular roles. Okay, so
Mhm.
that's all that was. So thank you for that. Now, waiting to exhale. Russell. Russell. Sir. It's Russell, baby. Listen, let me tell you something. Okay. First of all, for women, that movie was very, very impactful. It was very impactful. And
I'm,
I
I'm,
think
I'm,
that
I'm,
when you,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
what?
when you said that to me, right? I just recall, um, I just recall LL Cool J coming up to me shortly after the movie, right? And he said to me, "Yo, dude," he said, "Yo, you got the coldest line I've ever seen. The girl is mad as hell at you. She don't want you in the house, and your response is, 'Baby, it's me.' And she lets you in. I'm like, dude, come on." And I'm like, and I just cracked up because, to be honest with you, when I'm still playing my role, I'm just doing it. I'm not really thinking about how it's going to affect anything. It's not until afterwards, I may see it and I see the way people react. And I go, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. So,
I mean, you know what? A lot of women, listen, all the women on here, they're not listening to a word you say, and everything on here is, he's so fine. Oh my goodness, look at his eyes, look at this. They're not even listening to all that wonderful, heartfelt things you're saying. They're focused on Russell, baby. Listen, we've all had a Russell in our life, unfortunately. Okay.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
However, but it's like when you came on the scene, because the rest of them brothers, no disrespect, but the rest of those brothers didn't really have the charisma of Russell. When she opened that door and there Russell was, it was like, there go that no good to real. There go that no good. It just makes you remember your own experience.
Well,
So,
so I'll give you a little tidbit. I didn't want to play
okay.
Russell. I didn't want to play Russell.
Why?
Well, I met with Forrest, and well, because I just felt like that's what everyone thought Leon would play. So, and I talked to Forrest. He was like, "Look, Leon, there's several roles in there you could play that you're capable of playing. I know that." He said, but if you don't play Russell, who could I possibly get to play Russell?
Right.
And I was like, all right, if it's gonna work for the movie, let's go. So
Mm. You know what? But I'm so glad that you did because it brought a real element to that particular part to that movie because all the other movies in the beginning, the ones Whitney were dating, it just seems very, you know, fictitious. It just really just seemed, like, oh, okay, the movie. But then when Russell came to the door with that vest on and that hat, it's like, yeah, this is relatable. You want to let go, but you can't. And you guys
yeah,
were
I
good
mean, but yeah,
together.
yeah. So many women have had a Russell in their life, or going to have a Russell in their life.
I
But
want
it's all. But the movie teaches a lot of lessons. A lot of lessons about your choices in men. And Russell just represented the guy that you think you should be with, look wise, but is not right for you as a boyfriend in any way, shape, or form, and you know it.
now the thing last with the Russell on the end, he was going to knock back on the door, but decided not to. What was the character supposed to be thinking at that moment?
Well,
She
it's all,
said, "Hey, I'm pregnant." You know,
yeah,
Be
yeah.
sure.
Well, yeah, because she tells me she's pregnant. I mean, that's the end of the fun. This is you're trying to get serious now, right here. I mean, this is fun for me. You know what I'm saying? I got a wife. I got a girl. You know what I'm saying? This is the fun side. You talking about you pregnant. That's why you saw she said it. I just started backing up. I'm like, maybe I knocked on the wrong door.
Mm.
So,
But he was gonna knock back on the door, and but then he decided just to go ahead and leave it alone. So I understood his
well, listen,
standpoint.
the thing is about you see him about to knock on the door again.
Right.
It's just the human side of the character.
Mm.
I mean, because at the end of the day, I care for her, and I don't really want to let this go. But,
Right.
am I about to put my whole life and everything in a tailspin by continuing this?
Understood.
So, it's almost that like, baby, this is not the smart thing to do.
Understood. I'm gonna skip to because I don't want to keep you too long because I know we're in a different time zone and everything. So I want to skip to three major things. Okay. One, something a movie did in '97, Spirit Lost. I was
Ah, Spirit
14.
Lost. Okay.
I was 14 when I saw that movie, okay? And I don't think that's a movie for a 14-year-old, but I saw it. And and I till this day, it still bothers me. That movie was so it was on, the sweet blood of Jesus kind of thing,
Mm.
that Spike Lee did. It kind of reminded me of that, as I got older. But what was what was it like doing that role? Like, does it haunt you afterwards? Do you have to go to therapy after something like that? Like, it was a really, like a really mental and emotional, spiritual movie. So, what was it like for you?
I don't really have a hard time like winding down after role, to be honest with you, because
Okay.
um, most of the times when given a chance, I try to just to become that person, and I try to, leave Leon alone. And so usually by the time I finish a movie, I'm missing Leon, and I'm anxious to get back to him. So
Okay.
yeah, that's how I look at it.
If you haven't seen Spirit Lost, go find it. It's a very interesting movie. Okay.
It's funny you saying that makes me realize maybe I should rewatch that movie because I don't really watch my movies. So maybe I should rewatch that movie because it's been, I hadn't even thought about that movie actually. Yeah.
Don't watch it. No, no, I don't want you to. Like, that
Wow,
movie is
wow. Was
like
was I was I that bad?
no, you actually played the heck out of that role because it freaked me out. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was young, but at least your ghost, she was beautiful. But still, it was too much for
Yeah,
me.
but you have to
You was like, you're
realize. So hold on
pregnant,
a second. You watched it when you were 14, darling. Come on now. It's different for an
and
adult.
I learned my lesson. Yeah, I learned
Exactly.
my lesson.
Yeah.
It don't take much for me.
You know,
Temptation.
there are people out there who, fantasize about having, affairs with ghosts, I guess.
That's above my pay grade. I can't even I can't even go there. You know what? I mean, like I understood it, but it was just so tripped out because, men, I mean, like they go into the temptation, something that they can't have, but they believe in it so much. And I think whatever is nurturing them or feeding them, that's what they gravitate to. And I
Mm,
think that's what that movie was about. You know, you have this, but this is something different, exotic, and it's just kind of taking hold of you and until it consumes you. But
mm.
unless you have people in your life that really love you and help bring you back, you can be lost to it forever. So that's what I kind of gathered at that time. And I just know
Okay.
that's not what I wanted to do. Last,
Okay.
Temptations.
Hmm.
We all know Mr. Ruffin. We know that you did the line, you created that line, that very famous line. I used it in a promo. But when you read about who David was, because I've actually talked to his son before. So when you really read about who he was as a person, as a singer, as a father, how did you what did you say to yourself to do this role, to say, you know what, I need to bring the truth of who he is to life?
Well, you realize when you're playing a role, I mean, I'm just playing a role within a movie. Okay.
Right.
So the most important thing is the overall story of the Temptations. Um, and that's what I
Here come
care
all that
about
ain't nobody
is
can
being
see Otis.
is being real and authentic. That's the best thing, and bringing the spirit of the character. But more importantly, it's playing the role to where it moves the story forward, so that
Hmm.
you understand the story of not just my character, but of all of the movie. And so, um, when you're yeah, that's all I really think about. I just think about, just the movie, the overall movie, because no one cares if you're great in a movie that's not good. It's all about
Right.
the movie. If they love the movie. And I just want to say something. It's like people talk about me in the Temptations a lot. Um, and and how my role stood out, but my role stood out because David Ruffin stood out in the Temptations.
Right.
He's the lead singer. He was the egomaniac. He was that guy. And so if I didn't stand out, then the movie wouldn't have been what it should be, and the way I stood out, and the other actors, the way they reacted to me, that's what made the movie. I mean, Charles Malik Whitfield, D.B. Woodside, Teron Brooks, it was his first movie, and um, all the actors, you know, um, they were great. I mean, in my
For
opinion,
Otis, man,
they
for
were
real.
just as good as me. They made the movie so fantastic, and so I think that that's the reason why, if you think a lot of my performance is because I was in a good movie, with other really good
Mhm.
actors who really did their thing.
Absolutely, and you played it so well that people were really getting upset with you during the film, that they really went and talked to the director to ask you, like, to kind of tone it down. But you're like, hey, this is what you want. This is what it is. You want these organic responses. So kind of just let me trust me in this. Trust me. So when you said that whole nobody's going to see you, Otis, I understand that one of your co-actors were a little bit offended or felt some type of way about it and, kind of wanted it removed. Is that right?
Yeah, when I said because it just came out in rehearsal, and um, the actor who I was talking to at the time, Charles Malik. I mean, he didn't say it, but the director came to me and said that he didn't like that I said that, and I was like, he's not supposed to like what I said. Did you see the reaction on his face? Isn't that what you want? And it's that reaction from Charles Malik that which makes that statement. Because I
Right.
could just say that, but when the camera goes back to him and you see his reaction, you're like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Right. So that role works as much because of Charles Malik Whitfield as it does because I said it.
I completely agree. We're going to wrap this up. I have a couple of questions here because like I said, I know I appreciate you so much. I mean, this is a Emmy nominated actor that we have sitting here with us tonight. And this is such a pleasure and such a privilege. So I definitely want to get, I have 3 questions that are already in pinged. So I'm going to read them off. Throw them up there. You'll be able to see them. Boom. We have Cavalier 36. Hey, Leanne, I met you at the Warner Theater. What was it like for you doing Set It Off stage play?
It was fun. I've often always said that I love doing movies, plays, TV shows where females are the leads. I love supporting them. I think that in most movies they're supporting the male characters. So just like when Waiting to Exhale and Set It Off, or um, you know, you get a chance to to play the supporting characters for them. You get to be the boyfriend instead of them being the girlfriend, and I think that's great. Have a deep love for women. I don't think I'd have the career that I have right now if it wasn't for women. So yeah, I'm a big supporter. I'm a big supporter. Trust me.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, we have, I think her name is Keela Scorp 06. Do you want any more kids?
um, I'm not looking to have any more kids, but if I had one, yeah, it would be loved tremendously.
Well, okay, and our last question.
To be honest with you, I can't have any more kids because my daughter won't let me.
And whoop, there it is.
Yeah,
Noel
she
said
yeah.
no.
Noelle is like if she's not the only, she's done. And she's grown. You believe that?
I'm the only child, so I get it. If my mother came out with another kid, it's a problem. Like, first of all, I'm not babysitting anybody because that's probably where the delegation of responsibility ahead to. So no,
No,
nah.
you're not telling the truth. You're not telling the truth, and neither. And then my daughter's
What?
the same way. My daughter loves babies, loves kids, and wait a second, and let that cute baby be your little sister. Oh, forget about it. You know it.
Well,
You'd be the most protective big sister you ever saw.
yes, put me in, coach. Yes, I'll rise to the occasion. But I have a 4-year-old, and I'm 39, and I'm okay. My one and only, my bundle of joy, and I love you, Olivia Marie Antoinette, which is your mother's name, Booker
Mm,
Thornton. I'm
mm.
Antoinette as well. But let me tell you something. Having a daughter at 34, my first kid, listen, I don't have the stamina for it yet. You know what I'm saying? Listen, my leg's falling asleep right now, sitting here talking to you. It's a
Get
totally different.
get in the gym. Get in the gym. I tell mothers this all the time. You got to train to be a mom. It takes energy.
Yes, yes.
You out of shape, man. Being a mom is not fun.
That's my energy. That's what I have. But it's, you know what, it's so time consuming, and it's when you're a good parent, it takes a lot out of you. And at almost 40, with a 4-year-old, listen, it's a lot of prayers, a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
so if my mother had a kid, moving along, moving along, moving along. Last one. Oh, did her question go away? Oh, she said, what is your process? Her name is CEO Shu 22. What is your process when you are selecting scripts and roles?
Well, basically, I talked about it earlier. It's about the story, and it's all about the story. I mean, I read a story that I like. I want to be a part of it. I want to help tell the story. I want to help make it memorable. I mean, that's really what it's about. So yeah, it's just that simple.
Okay. Well, as you guys know, like I said, I'm not going to keep him too late because he's a very busy man, and I just appreciate this opportunity right now in front of us. So the rest of the questions are kind of geared towards your love life. So we're just going to throw that out there. I believe you do have a lady. Is that correct?
I can't hear you.
Or
I'm sorry.
just follow his page.
I know I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Dipped out sound wise.
Oh,
Last thing I heard
okay,
is
okay.
we got to get into like some personal, and that's all I heard. And
We're
maybe
just
that's
gonna.
because my phone is kind of geared towards when it hears things like that, the sound goes off.
Mine too. Mine too. I get it. So, if you want to know what his life is like on a consistent basis, then you know to follow him on www.justleon on
Mhm.
Instagram. You can also follow him on Leon and the People. He has his own group, kind of like a Bob Marley type of reggae vibe. I guess
Well,
that's the vibe in
it's
Jamaica.
a mix between reggae and soul music. We play reggae and soul music.
It is.
Yeah,
It is. You are amazing, and it's so natural for you. And you seem like you're very excited when you perform.
yeah, very much so. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah.
Okay, how did you guys get together, or when is your next gig, so they can tune in?
My next gig. Okay, so right now streaming
Oh,
on BET Plus is A Love Tale about four women
okay,
living in Harlem. Very provocative. I suggest you check it out. I'm
okay.
also on BET's Games People Play right now.
Yes,
And then in
yes.
March, beginning of March, I have an action movie coming out with Bruce Willis and Frank Grillo called A Day to Die.
Oh shoot, with Bruce, it's a whole lot of stuff going on in that film. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we'll see, but
exciting.
it'd be nice to be on the big screen and doing what I do.
You deserve it. And you know what? Do that private screening here. I got the hookup, so we'll talk about
Oh,
that.
okay, I
But
remember that.
yes, so as we're closing, I know you're going to be able to see these comments again another day. But as we're closing, I just want to present you with something that we have, okay? So,
Mhm.
sorry. Hold on one second. Let me access this for you. You can kind of look at some of these comments while I'm gathering. I am so sorry. Did everything go away or?
Yeah. I don't even look at the comments because,
They're
I
off the
mean,
chain. They're definitely off the chain.
well, but I'm not trying to say, I don't want y'all to see me blushing. So, but I did see a
Okay.
couple. I did see a couple marriage proposals up there. So,
Well, I just want to read this. I just want to read this off to you. It is our Spirit of Detroit Award. And the Spirit of Detroit Award represents the artist, expresses the concept that God, through the spirit of man, is manifested in the family, the noblest human relationship. And the Spirit of Detroit Award is presented to Mr. Leon Preston Robinson in recognition for your dynamic spirit and fervent dedication that has been demonstrated through the film industry. Your outstanding and captivating performances on screen has eagerly united and joyfully impacted the families of Detroit, Michigan. Your evolving and signature roles in such film as Colors, Five Heartbeats, Waiting to Exhale, Cool Runnings, Little Richard, Women of Brewster's Place, Above the Rim, and of course the everlasting favorite, The Temptations movie, has left an exciting imprint in the memories of your fans. Your achievements captured the hearts and attention of both the young and seasoned, so much so that even when featured in a supporting role, your presence stands out, and that is a reflection of the spirit of Detroit. For when we speak, we are heard. We stand by our motto to salute God and family, and with the God given talent that you've been blessed with, we are pleased to thank you for your favorite contribution in entertainment and being a part of our Detroit family. Thank you. And that is from our city council, our council members, Angela Whitfield Calloway, Scott Benson, Letitia Johnson, Gabriela Santiago Romero, Fred Durrell, Mary Waters, Coleman A. Young, and of course, Mary Sheffield. So this is a complete honor for us to be able to salute you for all that you've done for us, because I know I've been singing you in my living room. So thank you for all that you've done for us. And and I do have some gifts that I'm going to present you. I will mail them out to you. And it's just been a privilege to have you as a guest tonight on Glasses After Dark. Is there anything you would like to say to your loving fans?
Yeah, one, thank you very much. When I was studying acting and working on my craft, I you know, never imagined anyone, give me some of the awards and accolades that I've gotten. I appreciate it because I believe beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And so I
Yeah.
thank you. I thank the city of Detroit. I thank the council members of Detroit. I can't wait to tell my buddy Judge Mathis because he's a Detroit boy. And and yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it all. I
It's
really do.
It is an honor, and thank you as well for joining us tonight. This has been a long time coming, but thank you so much for your time and your lovely management as well. And is there any advice that you can give the audience before we leave, especially in the time that we're in right now, those that are trying to achieve their dreams? Is there any advice that you can give them as we leave tonight?
Yes. My advice to anyone following their dreams is to make sure they're your dreams and not other people's dreams. Okay? Be uniquely you because that's the one thing you can offer to the world is you. If you try to be like other people, if you try to do everything else, you're just another one of them. So give the world the best you and just roll that dice and see what happens.
You heard it right here on Glasses After Dark. Thank you so much, Mr. Robinson. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll be watching you soon.
You just need to do me one favor.
Sure.
Don't call me Mr. Robinson. I'm not your teacher. Call me Leon.
Yes, Leon.
All right. Have a good night,
Well,
okay?
thank you
And,
too, love.
and
Thank
bye bye
you.
to everyone out there that tuned in as well. I appreciate you all. I really do. Okay?
Thank you. Have a wonderful
Okay.
night.
You too.
Enjoy.
All
All
right.
right. Bye-bye. Thank you.